14. Schools. The first people-owned school had been Waiaki's idea, and even now he could not understand fully how his idea had borne fruit so quickly. He saw it as something beyond himself, something adorned by fate. #insecure Waiaki. His father's death had almost numbed him. Came as a shock to him. So Chige's dead, so that means bye. Okay. So Chige's death was a blow to Waiaki's confidence because Chige never clarified Waiaki's purpose and Waiaki did not feel ready to fill Chige's shoes. Waiaki's youthfulness also cast doubt on his abilities. Sad Waiaki. Doubtful Waiaki. Unconfident and insecure. Not only was he insecure, his role did not even satisfy him. He still felt hungry and yearned for something that would fill him whole. So this shows that he's dissatisfied with life and his current mission, and he has an identity crisis. Young life crisis. His eyes appeared commanding and imploring, spoke of that yearning, that longing for something that would fill him in awe. Now remember this longing. Okay, we'll come back to it. You see here? Waiaki wanted to talk to someone. That was what oppressed him. So he's having some conflict between his personal intimacy and just serving the greater community. So he has some self-gratification, self-denial. I have no clue. So, by the way, we've just transitioned from his identity crisis into his longing, which is not the father. That's why chapter 15 and 14 is together. Okay, here we go. Oh, and would you look at that? Nyambura, often lonely, still very affected by Mutoni's death. Here, she was often lonely. The death of Mutoni had deprived her of the only compassion she ever had. She would feel the pain inside her. The pain wrung dry her heart, and no tears would fall. This shows that she's still very affected by Mutoni's death. She feels emptiness and immense grief. And she also doesn't like Joshua anymore. Well, to be honest, I don't think she liked Joshua to begin with. I mean, no, yes, no Joshua. She often longed to discuss Mutoni's death with somebody who would understand. Nyambura could never think of Mutoni without Waiaki coming into the picture. Oh, do you see where this is going? So Mutoni's death was a catalyst for both their identity crisis, and she is a uniting factor for them. And then Waiaki sees this woman's picture in the mist, and he recognized the shape in his mind that had refused to melt into nothingness. Oh, I wonder who he's thinking about. So Waiaki runs out because he wants to talk to someone, and guess who he bumps into? Wow. Okay, so they start talking, right? Something passed between them as two human beings, untainted with religion, social conventions, or any tradition. So basically, they're just talking and then they have a connection. But there's also a lot of misunderstanding, you know. She was grateful to Waiaki for bringing them to Mutoni, but she also could never understand him. Sometimes she wished that he had been on their side, you know, like the Christians. And sometimes she feared him, so she has like mixed feelings. And then Waiaki becomes obsessed with the moon. I wonder what was the other time he was obsessed with some natural weird thing. Y'all know this meme? Yeah, like the guy looking at someone else and then the girl's there. Okay, Nyambura stood there as if she was the embodiment of serene beauty, symbolized by the flooding moon and the peace around. Suddenly, Waiaki felt as if the burning desires of his heart would be soothed if only he could touch her hair. Touch her hand. Okay, wait, never mind. We're not at the moon yet, but the moonlight emphasizes her. And okay, Waiaki wants to touch her hair or her hand. Or, I don't know, boy, make up your mind. Yes, okay, so the main stuff, conclusion, division. Schools grew up like mushrooms. So this means that the schools were set up quickly and in great numbers, signaling how the tribe and people hungered for education. And the Giku people took pride in their schools because they did not discriminate against circumcision for one. And then there was Mutuni, who was torn between the tribe and Christianity because she wanted to be a woman, but she also wanted to be circumcised. And then there was Waiaki's yearning, which is why he ended up meeting her. And then there was the whole moon thing. Yes, the moon. Waiaki, what's wrong with you? Looky here, the moon was also awake. Her glare was hard and looked brittle, an unearthliness that was both alluring and frightening. The brightness of the moon seemed now soft and tangible, and he yielded to her magic. Okay, is he a bit high? Waiaki thrust out his arms and wanted to hold the moon close to his breast because he was sure she was listening and he wanted her cold breath near him. Waiaki raised up his eyes to the sky. His heart bled for her. Wait, dude, I thought you wanted Nyambura. What is this now? Okay, anyway, the symbolism of the moon is love, unattainable beauty, femininity. So it basically is just going about his longing and everything, which he ends up filling with Nyambura and then still wants to touch his hair, her hair. I don't know.